Hey everybody, Escape211 here. I'm just playing back a match I had on my free-to-play account, just dealing with all these mods, alright? Man, as everybody's been saying, and I echo the same thoughts, this implementation of these mods has not gone well at all, alright? On this account, I've obviously experienced mods. You can already see them. The AI has them. It's a pain for me to deal with. I definitely, can't do quite as much as I used to, but it's not super bad here at like close to 5K. But as you progressively get higher and the AI has more, or you run into whales, it is going to be massively hard to deal with these effectively, to kind of even the playing field. And that is the issue. This initial growing pains of all this and the launch is really, really rocky. And honestly, this feels very similar to when pilots came out. Now, what's crazy in all this is I actually looked at my pilots video that I had where I said like 3 biggest issues with pilots. Now, this is a couple years ago when pilots first came out. It had been out for maybe a couple weeks. And I'm already starting to feel the same situation here with mods where I look at my 3 biggest problems, and it's funny, I'll actually link the video below. If you go and you watch that video, my first 2 issues related to like economy and how it all works are practically the same. Like, you could sub in the word mods for pilots on that video and it will feel pretty much the same. It's like, I don't understand why we're kind of going through the same kind of issues. It's like nothing has been learned from how pilots went, sadly, in my opinion, where we just have this crazy gap between those who are free to play and those who are not. And what's crazy also is that it actually seems worse so far. Now, of course, this is very early. We haven't seen all the events and all the other stuff, but we have already started to build on the database a mod sheet, and I will always link the database below so you guys can check it out. But I just wanted to show this page that Res basically has put together, so thank you for that. But if you look at the section where it says like per mech to max it out, you could spend about 200 bucks if you want to. But if you wanted to do it free to play, where you just get it from each month, each week, the weeklies, you will spend about 2 years maxing out one of these, just one of these mechs, all right? Remember, and that's only one because you can't swap the mods between the different mechs. So you better pick a really good one, right? This is crazy, though. This is so much for free-to-play to deal with. Like I said, there's probably going to be more things that come along to make some of that a little better, so it's not going to feel like that big of a gap. But knowing that this is the basic of the implementation, and then there's going to be, events, and people will have to grind tourney, which is already plagued with, like, SP droppers and other issues, especially in FFA. This is going to be a massively uphill battle that I don't think people are going to want to stick around for. I really think there's a lot that needs to change about how the economy and the currency and the way you deal with these mods on your mechs is done. Now, I don't exactly know what's going to be the best way to deal with this, because just like pilots, again, when pilots came out, I thought the stats and everything was too crazy, but because they just left it the way it was, they brought it out. People who spent money, you can't really change things crazy because then they're going to lose value for their dollar, but you also shouldn't leave it like this if it's going to create this much of a gap in the game. This does the same kind of thing, and arguably worse. So I don't really know, what the plan is going to be here, how they're going to actually deal with this. It's going to be pretty rough, and I don't really know what I'm going to do. I don't really know how this is going to shake out. I do want to give this time to see how events go and see how more of the rollout happens, but so far the outlook is not so good. I don't really even know the best way to deal with this, just because, in my head, the way I would think you could deal with it would probably not be the greatest for those who have already spent money. Maybe that's, on them for being early adopters, but at the same time, they have to be wary. It's a business. They have to be able to make money. So if they make certain customers who spend a lot of money bad or mad about things, it's going to hurt their bottom line. So, I just think overall this is just a bad way to balance everything in the game and the issues that are going to happen, and just how they, implement it as a paid item. So I'm hoping that there's ways that they can address it better and get other stuff. We do have the derby that's going on, and that one looks like we'll get a good chunk of these parts, which is nice, but I'm not going to expect them or think that they would actually put out a derby like this every week. So I don't really know how we're going to be getting it in the foreseeable future. So that's my overall thoughts, though. I obviously, it's not looking the greatest. So, we'll have to see how things go. If you have thoughts on how they could change things or maybe fix things, feel free to comment below, share your thoughts, and we will see you out there on the battlefield.